quarter. They are kicking into a breeze, but as we've seen over the past weeks, Jason, the breeze advantage sometimes can be a disadvantage.
Well, I think Stewie hit the nail on the head a couple of weeks ago when he said that most sides work harder against the breeze, and that's maybe why that they get some more results, whereas sometimes they're kicking with the breeze, they just seem to slack off just a little bit and take it a bit easy. And so, we'll just see what happens. We might be seeing Bannockburn work back in this second term, and half-time could be a different prospect. But Stewie Scott's just about to jump over the fence. Peter Walker's there also. Pete, you might want to start and tell us what Stormy Winner had to say at quarter time.
Yeah, Stormy said that before the game they'd made a plan that they were going to put everything through the centre of the ground, keep the wingers out wide and everyone leading through the centre. And he said, basically, we're not doing that. He said, we're winning the ball in the ruck more often than they are, but we're still letting the likes of Gardner and their smaller men tap the ball out and get control of it. He said, our forward line's too crowded and that's to be changed. He said, we've got to be a lot tighter in making sure that we concentrate on getting out and giving Pilgrim and those fellas the chance to lead and be on a one-on-one situation. And he said, we're not first to the ball. All we're doing is we're trying hard, but we're still not first to the ball. Harding on the wing is going to stay there, and he's going to be the linchpin in the middle. And he also told Ashley Perkins that he's not doing his job. He's standing too far off the ball, and he's got to run a lot harder and make space and really put the pressure on them to get the ball a lot easier.
Well, we'll get back to Stewie in a minute as we start the second term. It's at half forward for Thomson, who are attacking the northern or city end in this second term. Timmy Gardner got it to Christian Highland. It's now at half forward. The umpire lets it go. Kick off the ground by Flanagan's okay. There's the linchpin Peter spoke about. Rick Harding goes towards Colliger and Armstrong. Bit of a height mismatch there. Goes towards Paddy Burns on centre wing. Can he pick it up? He gets a push in the back. Should get a free kick and does. Pat Burns on centre wing. Gives it back to Armstrong. And Sabuli can go long towards centre half forward. The lead's on from McFarlane, getting across there. Wentworth as well. It's over the head. Getting back there, Winter gets a good shepherd, and Stormy Winner can go wide. Good kick too, and finds Corey Flanagan.
Yeah, good footy there from the coach. Winter to Flanagan. Oh, good fist away though. Bradley for the Thomson side. Second effort okay too. Keeps the ball in front of him. Was he held? No, said the umpire. Pack of players formed. Now quickly kicked out there by, I think it was McFarlane, was it?
Bradley
it was. Gee, good third effort from him. Gets the ball up to the forward pocket. Pack of players have formed. It's now forced out to the 50-metre line as we see Thomson through. Spud Highland, right foot kick up to the teeth of goal. It goes right across the face. The race is on. Gus Hewitt and Mark Cowan chased it over the line, and we'll have a throw in about 25 metres from the Thomson goal, kicking to the school end here at St Albans, leading by 20 points here, early stages of the second quarter.
Boundary throw in. Rose in front, can take it out of the ruck, then gets pinned. Now comes through again. Hewitt, handball back to Winter, pretty hot, but it was okay. Got it to Rose, and now Bannockburn can clear from half back. Goes pretty wide, looking for Lincoln East. Fanning against him. East takes a good mark, and now we'll clear the football from half back. Leads on from Perkins. Goes in that direction now. Good kick too, and a good mark under pressure from Peacock.
Just at quarter time there, Peacock was getting his ankle strapped. So I imagine when he came off there late in the first quarter, it was through an ankle.
Okay, so Colliger now takes the mark in front of Armstrong at half forward. Plays on quickly the nappies, goes on the right foot, tries to measure the pass to Ronnie Pilgrim. Burke, good job, gets it away. Burns, great roving. Atchison, great running at centre half back. They've created the loose man. He gives it to Bradley at centre half back, and he runs. He takes a bounce, he takes two, he draws Gadd, he can put it over the top to Sherwell. He elects to go with a kick though towards centre half forward. McFarlane comes at pace, hits the pack. Rose keeps his feet. Tank now, can he get around? Slick handball to Delahant was okay. Handball backwards to Winter. Hewitt has to come in and shepherd. He gets a handball over the top, and they're away, the Tigers. Bannockburn go from centre half back with Wentworth. Poor kick off the boot though, and was that a push in the back? No, it's bottled up. Umpire Fanning will come in and bounce it. It was Aaron Bradley and Corey Flanagan. Stewie, what did Pat Burns and Trevor Tuck have to say at quarter time?
Yeah, their main emphasis, they thought that their forward line got crowded on a few occasions, so he'd like his on-balls to stick around the midfield and don't get dragged into the forward line, which obviously meant they'd have to stick to the game plan. I think they need to maintain the effort for the full 32, 33 minutes, because if there's one side in the competition that can put 4 or 5 goals together in a 5-minute period, they obviously believe that Bannockburn is one of those. Just in the first couple of minutes of this quarter, I think there's some reasonable signs for Bannockburn. They seem to be kicking into a bit of space, and I think their target's a bit better than they did in the first quarter.
Ball now goes from a holding the ball decision at centre wing.
Great tackle, Aaron Bradley.
Yeah, Aaron Bradley it was. Gets it towards half forward. Gardner and Damien Tom fight at it once again. Gardner gets it away. Moore just tries to paddle it on. And a quick kick off the ground by Winter again. Goes back towards centre wing, Bradley and Pilgrim. And Bradley's quite happy to see it over the boundary line. I reckon Stormy Winter's had 7 kicks. I reckon 6 of them have been off the ground in the first quarter and a bit.
Yeah, interesting. Whether that's maybe a back or hamstring problem.
Maybe he's just trying to push the footy on. He's getting a bit old, the old Storm. He probably doesn't like to bend over as much as he used to before. Flanagan from behind. Gardner ripped off the... loses the footy this time. Drops it. Just one too many trying to break the tackle there. Flanagan.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. The umpire's being pedantic again.
That's interesting there because the umpire was in control of that. Threw both arms up to say play on, and the other umpires come from behind and told him to go around the mark.
Now, kick by Flanagan to Colliger. Doesn't take the mark. Armstrong against him. Highland comes in. Now, Colliger got a bit of time. Oh, he's going to handball to East, but he saw that Fanning was against him. Burns goes into, put some pressure on. Peacock drops the mark. Handball back to Wilkins. Oh, good handball too to Bradley, who's finding a lot of space on the wing. Have to be quick now. Goes with the right foot kick. Not much to kick to. Winter leads in the race of the ball against Rowan. And Stormy Winner goes with the right boot back towards half forward. Peacock up. And Harding uses the body well. Rove Connors dropped the footy as he gets tackled. Peacock in there as well. They fight hard. And it will be a ball up at half forward on the outer side for Bannockburn.
Be interesting to see this afternoon, fellas, if we have a boundary umpire overruling a central umpire's decision, as we seen last night in the final with North Melbourne.
I don't think it happens at this level, Stewie.
I didn't think it happened at that level.
But you know, yeah, exactly. You never know, do you? Now, Gardner gets it away, and also Armstrong gets it towards Bradley, goes towards centre wing. Cowan strong against Hewitt and takes the mark. Plugger needs a runner, got one. Stein. Now Jason Stein on the right boot. Poor kick in the end, goes towards Humphrey. Kick by Delahant mid-air. Winter now. Rowan next to him. There goes Stormy off the ground again. Fanning can take the mark against East, be in front, and Daniel Fanning's taken it. Fanning gets around East, creates a bit of play off, falls over Matty Pilgrim, then got one high from Pilgrim. Ardo puts him under pressure. Oh, it does well. Back to Fanning, off the left boot. Heard a call. It was Humphrey, but Wentworth ends up with it. Now, Wentworth all goes pretty wide and out of bounds on the full. Poor kick in the end by Chicken Hawk to try and find Lincoln East.
Yeah, poor skill on that occasion. That's his second bad kick out of defence too, the Chicken, and it's not like him. Fanning now drives the ball to the corridor. Lovely kick to penetrating drop punt right to the teeth of goal. But it's all Bannockburn as Nathan Rose mops up. Feeds off the hand pass after drawing Sherwell to Stevie Gadd. Goes looking for Hewitt. Finds him. Back to Harding. Harding under pressure. Long loping hand pass to centre wing. Finds the running Connors, whose kick drops short. Now, Roweth. Two Thomson players there. Stein and Elliott clash, and they both hurt themselves. As we see now, the ball beats Atchison. It goes to the back where, great tackle, Atchison. And the kick there from Shane Andrews waddles through for a minor score.
Sure to come on for more at the boundary here.
So Clinton Shaw on and Moore off. So it's 2-2-14 Bannockburn. Thomson 5-3-33, first score of the second term. We've been playing 7.5 minutes. Armstrong, big kick from fullback, straight up the ground, looking for Peacock. Shaw just on. Peacock can't take the mark, needs a rover. Got one. Fanning does well and runs through the middle. No hamstring problems this week for Dan. Fanning goes long towards McFarlane. Great kick, can't take the mark, needs a rover. Back there, Wentworth, and he picks it up first. Goes with a little left foot, just wants the boundary line safety and finds it.
Just interesting there with the players from Thomson running through there. The only player with his eye on the ball. I see Flanagan sort of gone to ground. They were too busy worrying about where their opponent was than actually where the ball was.
So it's a boundary throw in, just on 50 metres from the Thomson goal. It's going to be Cowan and Perkins to do the ruck work. Gardner from behind. Cowan takes it out of the ruck contest. Goes with the left boot as he's slung. Goes towards full forward. McFarlane takes the diving chest mark in front of Nathan Rose, and McFarlane will have a shot for his second from about 35 metres out.
Just a bit more productive, Peter, when they're heading into their forward line compared to Bannockburn. They seem to be trying something that may not be on, where Thomson just sticking to the basics, going long to McFarlane and getting the rewards for it.
Yeah, but I think that's got a lot to do with what Stormy said. He said, we're not playing to our game plan. I think they're trying to kick that into gear to get back to their game plan.
Well, Christian McFarlane has popped through his second, and the Tigers, it's the Thomson Tigers, just coasting along nicely at the minute as the Buckley's Gaming Centre second quarter scoreboard shows. Thomson now 6-3-39, leading Bannockburn 2-2-14. And if you were a gambling man, Bannockburn, you wouldn't be too happy at the minute.
There's been another change for Thomson. Rowan's off and Shapter's back on the ground.
Okay, so Shapter's on, and Marty Rowan, who Stormy Winners played pretty well against in the first quarter and a bit, is off. Now Andrews in the ruck, as he's done so in the past. East on hands and knees, gets it to Matty Pilgrim. He gets a quick kick away. Atchison and Flanagan, they both goes past them. Atchison back there early, loses another 30 metres, looks for the boundary line. Atchison's there and tried to keep it in, has done so, and now it's out. Burns seeing it over the boundary line with Ronnie Pilgrim. And it will be a boundary throw in. Ronnie has head buried. Wilkins, double hand up, straight band towards Paddy Burns in the boundary line again. And it is over for another throw in.
It's a funny old game, this football. And this could be a replica of the first semi. No, qualifying.
Qualifying, yeah.
Wilkins gets it down to Atchison. Gets it away, the rubber man towards Sherwell. Gadd comes at him, tries to take the chest mark, roved again off Fanning. Just left it behind, but it's okay. Sherwell got it. Now fight on between Fanning and Andrews. Just taps it forward. Winter off the ground again. Goes back towards centre half forward. Connors and Stein in a foot race. Chops can just get there first, and then he's wrapped up, pushed in the back. And we'll get a free kick. Good contest, those two.
It's a good contest. Connors been good.
Now Connors from centre wing. Measures a pass to Andrews. The drainer takes it outside 50. Goes long with a left boot now. One out. Flanagan and Atchison getting back there. Wilkins can't take the mark. Flanagan. Corey Flanagan can put it through for a goal. And a badly needed one for Bannockburn.
Probably, Jace, if you're looking for a bonus on the side of Bannockburn, is they've got 3 or 4 of their better players who aren't playing overly well. Andrews just got a touch there. Flanagan just got a touch there, which was great. And obviously Shaw, who hasn't spent much time on the ground. And Ronnie Pilgrim's been very quiet. So if those 2 or 3 players can lift up a little bit, Bannockburn can certainly get back into the contest.
So it's Bannockburn 3-2-20 with that Corey Flanagan goal. Thomson 6-3-39. 19 points of difference in this second term. And on the promoted sports clothing and trophy time clock, we have been playing 10.5 minutes in this second term.
And a special cheerio to Pam and David Glover, providing us with a great trophy every week for GDFL football. Promoted Trophy and Clothing Company. They're the people to see for your trophy and clothing requirements.
Back in the middle, Andrews takes it out of the ruck contest against Wilkins. And in fact, it's Perkins now in the ruck. Atchison got it. And he gets it short to Stein. He takes the mark at half-back. Jason Stein can go across to Armstrong. Elects not to now. He's covered by Colliger. Now Jason Stein goes towards centre wing. Sherwell gives him a lead. He goes in that direction. Rode by Rowell beautifully. Gives it to Andrews. Takes a bounce. And can go on the left boot again towards half forward. Getting back there, Stein knocks it away from Flanagan. Rovers at the front. Connors keeps his feet and might get it back here for a kick over the shoulder against,
I think
against Flanagan.
He's called the throw.
Oh, okay.
On Corey Flanagan.
I thought Burns was probably a little bit stiff not to get a free kick a couple of seconds before that, so it's probably justice.
They're even up, you reckon?
That might have been.
Burns from half back. Goes towards Ardo, sets him up a little bit. Hands at the back of the pack now. Harding gets around Bradley and just gets his kick away as Ardo gives him a tackle. Atchison stands in the front. And the rubber man takes him in front of Ronnie Pilgrim at half back and goes towards the centre. Sets a bit of a task for Sherwell. Gardner takes it away and runs away. And Matty Pilgrim just can't quite get him as he gets his kick away too. Or towards Humphrey and Highland. And keeping their feet, Rose and Wentworth. Wentworth got it over the top. Now Harding. Little left foot kick around the corner. Ardo got a hand to it. Andrews and the boundary line. And it's out of bounds on centre wing. It's 6-3 playing 3-2-39. Playing 20 Thomson in front.
Peter, what would you do in the situation with Delahunt? He's played in the forward line the last 2 or 3 weeks, or possibly a little bit further in the season, and he's been effective. He's a good leader. He's doing a great job on Highland at the moment. Do you sort of sacrifice that and hope that someone else can close down Highland to give you that leading option in the forward line?
Oh, I really don't think you do that until at least half time. I think they've got a game plan in place, and I think they've got to stick to that until half time. Make sure the scores are still close enough.
Well, Roworth goes towards Ronnie Pilgrim, punched away by Burke. Armstrong now Ronnie Pilgrim, and coming in at pace was Colliger. Armstrong tries to paddle it back towards Burke. He gets wrapped up in the tackle and held to him. Will be a ball up 35 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. So umpire Santa Spirito. Burke gets up hobbling. He's got the job on Ronnie Pilgrim at full back. Thrown up. Wilkins against Shaw, gets it down to Timmy Gardner. Tries to get it out to Armstrong, does so. Fanning comes at him as well. Trying to paddle it back to Burns. And East also in there fighting for Bannockburn with Corey Flanagan. But the umpire will bounce it once again just outside 50.
Just interesting down in front of us here, boys. We've got Stormy going back. We've got Andrews back. We've got Perkins here. I think I'd have a player possibly in between the ball-up contest now and where Perkins is now. So take the punt if you get it. You've got a bit of space and you can go forward. And they're relying on the ball actually carrying the next pack.
We see Corey Flanagan coming off with a blood rule and Robert Henderson to replace him. Roughhouse Robbie will get his first run.
There's Drainer moves into that spot now we're just talking about.
Yep, so he's moved up. Bradley's moved up with him. Harding is behind Bradley, so he moves up as well. Perkins moves up. And now Henderson comes on. Umpire Santos Burrito's happy with where he is. He comes to the pack situation. Wilkins will do the ruck work against Clint Shaw. Wilkins gets it down to Armstrong. Back to Atchison. He's got Ardo in support. He elects to go with the kick, though. Back to where we were talking about. Perkins from behind. Great mark over the top of Shapter.
Might have actually been the blood rule there with Flanagan, I think.
Yes, it was. Yep. Had a bit of blood on his nose. Half forward, Perkins. Goes along. Pilgrim got 3 Tigers around him. Atchison can't take the mark. Armstrong there. Handball slick is okay. And now Peacock goes wide to Bradley. Could create a loose man here over the top. Gadd. Sherwell back to Bradley. Got Ardo in support. Aaron Bradley now through the middle. Goes towards centre half forward. Christian Highland. Good punch away. Delahant. Shapter. Roves. Winter. He tackles him, he drops the football. Shapter tried to go off the ground, then tries to paddle it on. It's topped off by Perkins. We see Wilkins coming off and Wolfenden on. Colliger now has got it. That's Troy Colliger on centre wing. Needs a lead. Got one. Connors. He elects, though, to go wide towards Andrews. And Andrews goes up. The Drainer takes the mark in front of Peacock.
Shane Andrews now kicking from a good 55 metres. Plays on. Burns and Peacock comes along and, the umpires softly said that... he's been put down after he kicked, and I think you'll find it was when he kicked, so it should have been play on.
Very interesting there, boys. Obviously, the type of player Ronnie Pilgrim is that if you're playing on him, you need to know and you'd like to think you're with him all the time. And I thought Burke could have possibly came over the top then and punched that ball, but he was that worried where Pilgrim was, he decided to stay down.
Well, Robbie Henderson has it just on the ground for Flanagan with a blood rule. He's got it 10 metres out, not much of an angle, and looking for Bannockburn's 4th goal. He comes in. And he kicks it.
A roughhouse Robbie. It's been a long time since he's kicked a 6-pointer, I'd suggest. The Dow defender from the Bannockburn boys. 4-2 now, 26 Bannockburn. Thomson, 6-3-39 on the Buckley's Gaming Centre second quarter scoreboard. Time check, 17.5 minutes gone of the second term.
And if you're a betting man, again, with Bannockburn, you'd be pretty happy at the moment.
See Marty Rowing coming back on. Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Peacock off. I think that injury might be taking its toll on him.
Okay, that's the ankle that you said that he had strapped. A few happy faces up here and in the box. Couple of blokes have picked Bannockburn, so they're coming back. It's 39 playing 26 back in the middle. Matty Pilgrim roves beautifully. Goes to the right boot, long towards Henderson. Atchison, big thump away. Good work. There's Matty Pilgrim again. Atchison can't. Oh, great pick up the rubber man to Highland. And he's got Sabuli Armstrong. He takes a bounce, goes to the left boot, just wants the boundary line. Foot race east. And also Marty Rowan. And it's out of bounds. Right in front of the guest commentary box.
Just that last interchange there, fellas, it may have actually been a discipline thing. I think that Peacock was the one that gave the downfield decision, so maybe it is a discipline thing rather than an injury.
Yep, okay, fair enough. Boundary throw in right in front of us here. Timmy Gardner goes up, hits Perkins on the head, goes towards Paddy Burns. Can't pick it up, Andrews can. Oh, then he trips over Matty Pilgrim, loses a footy. Elliott, quick handball. Only as far as Colliger, wrapped up by Burns, goes to Armstrong, back towards Elliott. Elliott does well to Burns, handball does well. Paddy Burns, good hands, goes towards Humphrey at centre half forward, gets a tap on Ardo. Delahant rides the bump, goes through Steve Delahant and breaks away, goes towards the middle. Andrews by himself, back onto the left hand, handball to Harding. Now Rick Harding on the left boot. Wobbly kick, it's going to be a foot race again between Stein and Connors. And Stein leads in this occasion. Can he try and paddle it back to Sherwell? He can, but he's not quite there. Harding gets it at half, goes towards half forward. Coming back now is Rowan and Clint Shaw on the ground. Shaw just tries to toe poke it to Connors. Handball over the top to Roughhouse Robbie. Henderson's got it. Gets around Highland with a side step. Goes back inboard looking for Ronnie Pilgrim at centre half forward. Can't take the mark. Timmy Gardner's there and he can break away from half back with a kick.
And certainly does, and punts it a good 60 metres straight down the centre wing position. Out there looking for, I think you'll find Darren Shapter, but he couldn't get there in time.
Get on the football, Brett.
Out of bounds.
Unbelievable.
Just forward of... Yes, sorry, Stu.
No, right. One of the interesting moves was obviously with Andrews into the ruck when Moore come off the ground. It's probably at the same time and the same situation as it was a couple of weeks ago. And I think Andrews was probably the player in the ruck and around the ground with his marking ability that turned the game on that day. The Bannockburn players then fed off him, and maybe that situation is coming along again.
Well, Stein's been yellow carded. He's off the ground. So Thomson down to 17 men.
Gee, I didn't see what happened there, Jason. He made a mistake over there on the outer side of the ground and has obviously said the wrong thing.
Obviously, umpire Fanning using his discretion as usual. Well, if you had stayed with the camera, you would have known. Instead of going back, it's at half forward, between wing and half forward.
You're right on it, son.
God, unbelievable. Boundary throw in, Elliott. Don't do it again, Brett. Perkins comes through, great play, Christian Highland. And a little pass towards McFarlane. Rose next to him, Humphrey there also, Wentworth in between their legs, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball. It's 6-3 playing 4-2, 13 points of difference in the preliminary final. And Thomson have the lead. It's inside their 50-metre arc. Ball up, Sherwell up against Perkins, gets a big thump away towards Winter and Pilgrim. Winter gives a good shepherd, Matty Pilgrim now along the boundary line at half back. Tries to measure the pass towards Andrews, and can't quite keep it in. The drainer on centre wing, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
As you mentioned in the paper yesterday, Jace, that obviously Thomson like to use the middle of the ground as much as possible and work through centre half forward, but obviously Bannockburn try and run the ball wide, and the last couple of times they've tried that, the ball has gone out of bounds, so perhaps they could maybe try and get Clinton Shaw into the game with a long kick towards centre half forward.
Yeah, it's been very quiet, Clinton, and I think there's a couple of occasions where the vision of players with the ball really haven't seen him. He's been quite... open on a couple of occasions and ignored. Ball now on the outer side centre wing position. Umpire throws the ball in the air. Sherwell flies high but couldn't control it. Damien Tom has been penalised for holding the footy.
Gee whiz.
Pretty tough call on that occasion.
Crikeys. Highland's got it on centre wing from that free kick. Goes towards McFarlane. Him and Rose have had an absolute classic battle.
And Peacock's on for Rick Humphrey.
Okay, so Winter gets it back towards Andrews. Oh, Gardner got a hand to it, which was okay. Rose. And still at half forward for Thomson. Coming through the middle, Pat Burns tried to get it out. Shuffles it towards centre half forward now. Fanning and East and Harding. It's 3 against 1. Harding, oh, slow. Plugger got him. And Shapter left it for Lincoln East, who got a quick kick away. East now foot race. Hewitt, Shapter and East. And Hewitt's got it. The Jake runs away. Goes to the right boot towards half forward. Shaw and Peacock. And was that over the shoulder? No. Henderson, fresh air shot. Now Rough Robbie gets it away. Ronnie Pilgrim has got Colliger running wide. Burke does well. Shuffles him off the footy. Ronnie Pilgrim. Now Bradley and Matty Pilgrim. Bradley tries to tap it to the advantage of Pat Burns. Does well. And Burns towards centre half forward. From centre half back goes into the centre and Marty Rowan.
Breaks through the centre of St Albans. A long bomb up to the high flies. Back of the pack. Nearly a nice mark to Cowan. Goes in hard to Hewitt, who hand passes to Perkins was cool. Or the Chicken Hawk there, Wentworth, paid the mark at half-back, plays on quickly. Again, disposal letting the chicken down as we see Highland now chip in. Take the football, quick hand pass to Elliott at centre-half forward, has a flying shot for goal, but like most defenders, is offline.
Love to hear you say that, Ron.
He had plenty of time then. I don't think the players were actually telling him that he had so much space.
Thank you very much, Peter Walker.
My pleasure.
Kick in by Dallahant's okay. Finds Perkins, 6-4, playing 4-2, 14 the difference. Perkins now straight down the middle. Harding, good mark. Highland giving him the pressure, but Rick Harding equal to the task and takes the mark in the centre. Clint Shaw gives him a lead at centre forward. Now he went right, there went left. Now he'll go right towards Henderson. Against Atchison, who keeps his feet, the rubber man, and Gardner was going to give him a shepherd, doesn't need it. Runs away, goes towards centre forward. Plugger can take the mark on the chest.
Ronnie, I think there's someone downstairs who want to take you away.
Oh, good. They finally caught up with me, have they, Stuart?
Yeah, they got you.
Michael Zolgery. Long bomb up to the teeth of goal, but Marty Rowan couldn't take the footy. Quick hands to Stevie Ardo. He's got a little bit of time. Screws the ball back and over his left shoulder. Rose was there, double-fisted it away. Ardo sharks it, but dispossessed of the ball. Highland under pressure from Matty Pilgrim. And now Hewitt comes in. Kicks off the carpet to the members' side of the ground. Oh, Fanning spins around. Hand pass forward, but it's only as far as the Chicken Hawk.
Oh!
Very courageous, goes across the face of goal. Puts a bit of pressure on his defence as we see now Winter mopping up. Kicks quickly to the centre of the ground. Troy Colliger. And he went the one hand, and that's not good enough on preliminary final day because Sir Burley said thank you and picks it up and kicks long to the outer side of the ground. And Thomson into attack again.
Well, Christian Highland and Nathan Rose. Rose went at it, got there first, got it back to Matty Pilgrim, but then he was wrapped up, and it's now out of bounds just outside 50. It's 6-4-40. Thomson, Bannockburn 4-2-26. We have been playing 24 minutes in this second term. And it's just outside the 50 metres for Thomson. They're down to 17. Stein's been yellow carded for 15 minutes off the ground. We see Corey Flanagan ready to come back on. And it looks as though Troy Colliger will be off. So now a ball up at half forward on the outer side. McFarlane to do the ruck work. Big punch away too. Tom. Sits for him well, the Major. Gets it away. Fanning and East, one out. Fanning in front. Does well. Oh, then just loses his feet. East can break away, but getting across there and reading the play well is Shapter. Good experienced play from Darren Shapter. Short little kick is okay. Oh, Peacock left it behind. Danger. Matty Pilgrim. Kick off the ground. Wide open spaces. Now Shapter has to get back there. Rowath and Wolfenden in chase. Wolfenden. Rowath gets there first and paddles it back. Shapter. Handball. Puts Elliott under pressure. Handball. Oh, sets up Clint Shaw free kick. Rowath against Elliott, and Glenn Elliott will take the free kick, or is Wolfenden getting up? No, it will be Elliott, if he can get up. Might have a rib injury there. Well, the umpire should turn around and say, it's Wolfenden's kick, he can't get up. Oh, thank God he's done it.
Common sense does usually prevail.
I think Thompson's tallish players today, Elliott, Atchison, Peacock, Bradley, across the half-back line and across the centre have been superb.
Certainly have been, and this kick to the centre of the ground allows Perkins now to pick it up and hand pass to Winter. Gave it to Damien Tom, whose wobbly old punt kick falls straight in the arms of a roughhouse Robbie. Plays on from 45 metres, sees Rowath in the square by himself, and has just spoken to David Burke about that little confrontation. But Darren Rowath an opportunity to open his account this afternoon. Hasn't bothered the scorers to date. Kicking Bannockburn's fifth goal will be a handy one and bring them within 8 points of the Thomson side. Point blank range. Comes in, the drop punt. It's a wobbly old punt kick. Don't tell me he's missed it. No, he hasn't. Just tricking you all as he kicks his first for the afternoon.
So they bring the margin back to 8 points. Bannockburn 5-2-32. They trail Thomson, who is 6-4-40. Buckley's going centre second quarter scoreboard.
And we have a ball game here this afternoon at St Albans. Hope you're enjoying the call on 94.9 Guest FM in conjunction with GDFL football for season 98.
Yeah, Bannockburn seem to have gone back to their original, what they would have had in the last couple of weeks, playing with East on a wing and Harding on the other wing, and they seem to be doing a little bit better around the middle of the ground for that.
28 minutes gone of the second quarter on the promoted Trophy and Clothing Company time clock. Ball in the centre. Gardner with strength went one way then the other, got it to the run of Bradley, who's been terrific this term. Long by the lead of Sherwell, a beauty, and Shirley Sherwell takes the footy now from 45, kicks from 50, looks up there, Cowan by himself, couldn't take the mark. Now an opportunity, paddled forward by Hewitt, but the pressure's on as Wentworth, the Chicken Hawk, comes in, kicks off the carpet. Out there to the direction of Fanning and East. It's been an enthralling duel, that one, and it's just waddled over the line and out of bounds as Rick Humphrey warms up to come on to the ground at the expense of Marty Rowan.
Yeah, I think Wentworth's been fantastic this quarter, teaming well with Winter and Delahunt coming out of the back line as well.
Elliott in the ruck at the moment, doing some work for Thomson. Kick back towards Paddy Burns, has to make up a bit of ground, then can't take the mark. Shuffles the handball out to Humphrey just on the ground, can give it to Fanning quickly. Off one step, goes with the right boot. Good kick for distance. Over the back, and coming through with Sherwell. Plugger Cowan can get the handball out. Can he to Bradley? No, he gets a high tackle. That's why he couldn't, and Delahan's going to have to be careful.
He said he put the elbow up.
Oh.
Yeah, and a 50-metre penalty.
What's he doing?
And boys, just a bit of an update. Melbourne are 21 points in front of Adelaide.
How can he give 50?
Hang on, I'm a bit
I'd
confused.
say that, I'd say Plugger's given a bit of verbal after the free kick.
Well,
was
it's a...
given.
Well, Bannockburn don't mind because Stevie Delahant now has got Corey Flanagan here with a paddock. He can have half a dozen bounces, but Armstrong comes out quickly. But it leaves the big fella Roughhouse Robbie by himself in the pocket. And, well, I'm not sure what happened here, but Rick Hardy wasn't too good. He seems to have been recovered. He's in the centre holding his collarbone, and I'd be too after running into big Mark Cowan.
I think what happened there, Ron, was Harding's coming to lay the tackle on Cowan. Cowan's raised his arm up to try and brush him off. It's caught him up high, and the umpire's given the free kick to Bannockburn's side. And then I think obviously Pluggers had a little bit to say about that, and the 50s responded from
Well,
it.
unfortunately, Stewie, from a Bannockburn point of view, the big fella, a Roughhouse Robbie, true to form, has missed everything here and has kicked it out of bounds on the full. And now the Thomson side have cleared it and got a good 70 metres from Bannockburn's goal, and that would have been a very handy goal before half-time. And that's not far away, as the time check shows. 30 minutes gone to the turn.
Steve Allenson might kick it for him next time. Make sure he kicks the goal.
Ooh.
Boundary throw in. Oh, well, God. Half the players didn't know what goes on. Half the
Well, I was a bit
fans
confused.
didn't know what go on. If Ronnie doesn't know what's going on, we're in real strife. Ball up. Outside 50 for Bannockburn attacking. Elliott goes up. Pilgrim, Burns, and falls back towards Elliott once again. Handball to Timmy Gardner. Can he run away from the major? Yes, he can. Through the middle. Goes towards centre half forward. Humphrey in front. Good mark. Rick Humphrey plays on quickly to be Bear. They might get another score, but this time Delahant getting back there. Which way is it going to fall? It's out of bounds. Over the head of Highland and Delahant.
Yeah, he took the wrong option then, Humphrey, didn't he? Probably should have steadied and, well, he's only kicking from about 35, 40 metres. Could have popped it through from there, I'd suggest.
Yeah, the square was wide open. That probably would have been the option, I would have thought, Ronnie. But obviously there's a lot more pressure on the ground and a lot more yelling, and you go with your first option. That's what he's seen, and it's easy, I suppose, if it doesn't come off to be critical of it. But had it come off, we probably would have thought it was great play.
Well, it's half-time in the 1998 GDFL preliminary final, and it's Thomson with the lead. They're 6-4-40, and they lead Bannockburn 5-2-32 in that quarter. Thomson put 1 goal, 1 on the board, and Bannockburn fought back. They kicked 3 goals, 1 to make the margin 8 points at half-time. And we said, Ron, earlier in the call that fighting against the breeze sometimes works well for the team.
It certainly does, and surprisingly enough, they've kicked 1 goal, Thomson, for that term in the breeze.
Okay,
With the breeze.
well, Ron, Fano must be hungry downstairs because he wants us to wrap it up quickly for half-time. So at half-time, it's 8 points of difference. The goal kickers quickly. Thomson, 2 each to Rick Humphrey and Christian McFarlane. Singles to Steve Ardo and Mark Cowan. For Bannockburn, singles to Flanagan, Harding, Roworth, Connors and Henderson. At 8 points the difference, and we'll be back with what should be a pulsating second half of the 1998 GDFL preliminary final after this on 94.9 Guest FM and Guest Video.